Hi there. Hey, if you're watching this video or if you're reading the article that is attached to this, you're probably interested in purchasing a metal roof, or you're interested in finding out, you're trying to educate yourself a little bit more. Like I do, I go to YouTube all the time, or I do some research and I try to find out something before I make any kind of real purchase. And whether it's a major purchase or a small one, sometimes the smaller ones take me even more time because they're more maybe important to me. I do a lot of things outdoors and I always try to read the reviews from other people. But here's some information that a lot of people, your average person, is not aware of when they get ready to purchase a metal roof for their home, for their commercial business, or maybe a replacement from an insurance loss. One of the topics that I wanted to discuss today in today's video and also in today's article is called oil canning. Now, it sounds like, I know if you're watching the news lately here, if you turn on CNN News, they talk about something called gaslighting, right? It's all political stuff. Well, this is completely different. Oil canning happens as a result of metal being, when it is rolled out, and this happens with every type of metal and every type of metal roof. It's a sheen that you'll see when it gets out there. Now, one of the ways to avoid this, oil canning is not something that you really want. And it is something that you want to avoid at really all costs. Aesthetically, it doesn't look great at all. It actually is. It's not a problem with the metal, but as the metal gets rolled, the thinner it gets, the wider of a gap that it actually gets. It creates this like sheen. If you've ever seen oil, maybe on a road, just spilled a little bit of whatever, that little wavy purplish haze or whatever that it has there, it's kind of a similar thing. We're going to put some pictures in this below, or a couple of links to kind of show you that. But if you are very in tune with the aesthetics of your home, if you're in tune with the look and feel of your business and what you want to create, this is something worth considering and thinking about. And how do you hide the oil canning? And part of the ways that you could do that, first, choose a thicker metal. A thicker gauge metal, a lower gauge metal is going to be something that's going to be able to take the stress of being more spread out. Also, the other thing too is choosing a type of metal roof that's going to best hide some of the oil canning that naturally happens. And in the way that you're going to do that is by choosing a lighter color. The darker colors have a tendency to really accentuate some of that. And we could put in some of those colors and show you some of those examples below so you can kind of understand that as well. Also, personally, I really happen to like a raised seam metal roof with a bit more narrower, ribs in between it, not completely spread out. Again, all of this really comes down to a few different things. It's not just one thing. It comes down to making sure that you have good and clean decking underneath as it is applied, and you want to make sure that your roofer really understands this. Kind of a trick question, but not at all. If you ask your roofer, hey, do you know what oil canning is or how to avoid that, you could probably start a conversation with them at some point of where they know that you've actually done some research. And that's the power of YouTube University. I always joke about that with my friends and say that, that ability to go out there and find some of this good information that makes you kind of an expert in a very short period of time is very beneficial to you, because you'll be able to find out, when you're interviewing a contractor, a roofing contractor, for your commercial job or your residential job, that you're really kind of aware of some of these smaller details. Some of these, it's kind of a really a smaller thing that most people really are not aware of. You really have to get out there to the manufacturer level to find out about these. Seek out some really somewhat obscure blog information that some of these metal companies will put out there, because again, they're trying to sell metal. They want people to understand what some of the challenges are that they have. And these are technical challenges with metal. This has nothing to do specifically with the actual installation. Now, again, I'm not trying to speak out and say two different things. It actually has something to do with the installation. If they're not putting the right decking down, if it's not clean underneath of it, all of these are small factors that add up to adding or accentuating some of the waving and some of that oil canning that you could see. So it's important to understand these things. It's important when you're interviewing that contractor that they understand that you understand what you're trying to avoid. And overall, the aesthetics of your roof, of your business, it's something you're going to see every day when you come home. If you work at this business, you're going to be spending more time, more waking hours there at this place. And also, the most important thing from a commercial standpoint is, what do your customers think? Well, if first impressions from the road when they're driving in and looking at your place, it's like having a bed that the sheets aren't made on. And that's kind of what I look at when I see oil canning, and I see it as a real a maturity level of a roofer, or a conversation that should have happened that didn't happen. So anyhow, hey, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for reading this article. If you have any questions, comment below in the comments, if you would please. Share your experience. I by no means want to say that I have all of the information here. If there's any information that I've shared that's wrong, please correct me. Add to it for the community's benefit as well. Thanks, and have a great day.